Okay, so now we're looking at chapter 9.2, which is adding and subtracting using a model, using grids. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you how to use the model in order to add or subtract fractions with that. The easiest thing to looking at this, and first of all, the cardinal rule is making sure that your whole amount is always the same, so that my whole chocolate bar, so if this is my chocolate bar, it will always stay that size. So whenever I'm adding or dividing this into smaller pieces, I always have to keep the same large size, the whole amount, the same or consistent all the time. So let's just use this example here of 3/4 minus 1/6. And the way we can look at this is we always look at the size of the pieces, which is our denominator. And what we're going to do is we'll create two grids, one for the first number, one for the second number, and the one of them will divide into fourths and the other one will divide into sixths. And one of them will divide sideways, so this one will go into rows. So we have 4 rows in that one, and the other one I'll make into columns. So I have fourths and sixths right now. So each one of these represents a quarter. So this is a quarter, a quarter, a quarter, and a quarter. And each one of these columns represents 1/6. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 3/4. Well, this is 3/4 here that I'll shade in. And I need to subtract 1/6 away from that. What's difficult about fractions is that if they're not the same size pieces, it's difficult to add and subtract them together. So what we need to do then is we need to find a common sized block. And because I did rows and columns, I can combine them together to make a grid. So now I have the same size block, but instead of just the 4 rows, I'm going to combine the 6 columns along with those 4 rows. So which means now I have a total of 24 pieces in each. And if I color the same amount, so this was the same amount as here, this ends up being a total of 18 pieces. And in this one, this ends up being 4 pieces. So now if I subtract 18 minus 4, so if I take away 4 of these, so let's just shade these the other way around. If I take these away, that means I'm left now with these pieces. So I count 5, 10, 14. I'm now left with 14 over 24 pieces. And so what I can, so using grids, I can subtract, I can also add them together. So if I make these grids, I can add them together as well. And then I could reduce. So when I reduce, I just combine pairs together. So in this case, if I divide top and bottom by 2, which means I am combining my pieces together, which means I'll have half as much. I'll have 7 over 12 pieces. So rule number 1, set your first number up sideways or vertically, so in columns or rows. My second number set up opposite to that. Combine the two together and then subtract and then reduce for our final answer. So my answer, 3/4 minus 1/6 is 7/12. So you could do this with adding, you could do this with subtracting, and it works out all the same with using the grid model. So hopefully you understood this lesson.